next play investors. What's the next play? McFlight Investors.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Oh man, we back for another great Sunday of Next Play Investors. Man, we getting into the summertime month, so a lot of things are really down right now. The market, everything is kind of crazy, cryptocurrency, and everybody's out kind of trying to have a fun. So right now, we just kind of getting into what's going on, keeping the flow going, getting back into the flow of things, so we can actually figure out what, put it together what the plays are, and try to see, still listen to the street. This is never designed to be anything more than a group session to figure out what's going on, people doing moves and taking things. We welcome you every Sunday at 7:30 where we get on and talk. And so, I think that's a great thing. I mean, we sit around and talk, and the group get bigger, and we have different conversations on the back line, so that we can actually keep everything above, where we need to be, and not put it all out there. Definitely want you to join us every week, and let's get over here. You can always see everybody else is kind of already waiting, and we're gonna bring them in and go from there.
Times that I do
We live.
come to Destin or Panama City, we either get a house or a condo. And I did look at some condos too, which which is just like buying a house. Like some of them were like 200,000, which that's fine. But I think that you would really make your money. Either way, you will make your money. But when you got 10 bedrooms, yeah, you can rent this thing out for $6,000 because every bedroom in this house is full. So it's an occupant in every room in this house.
So it's like, is the house like all of it's full with a group that you know, or these are different people?
Oh yeah, this is my people. So
Okay.
it's my neighbor and his family. So it's just a group of people.
Okay.
So it's about 14 people here.
All right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Stace Dog, what the deal is, man?
What's going on? What's going on? How
Not
y'all
much.
feeling?
You on the road, man.
I know. Hey, Stacey.
Hey, how you doing, Nicole? I saw
I'm
your
great.
picture.
Yes, I'm on vacation to July 19th.
Oh,
July
wow.
19th. I get it.
I'm probably going to be flying out of here on Wednesday. I think I'm going to fly out on Wednesday. I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody?
You might be traveling again.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm almost home, but we had one of our classmates pass away at the tender age of 49, and so
oh my God,
I'm coming from her services. So, yep.
Sorry to hear that. That's young. That's very young.
Yeah, very young, unexpected. And she had three kids, husband, and son unexpected.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, Stacey. Oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yep. But everything was in place.
Oh, okay.
So make sure, from the investment standpoint, make sure you have your life insurance.
Yeah.
You never know.
I'm one step closer to be able to sell life insurance.
Oh, that's good,
Yeah.
Franco.
Yeah.
When you gonna have your diploma?
I
I
ain't
can't
started
remember.
the class yet. They actually gonna make me go through a class.
That's why I told you, Franco. I thought
Yeah.
that you was gonna have to take a class. Like
They gonna make me.
the lady probably just hyped you up, but I was like, he's gonna have to take a class. Like if it's
Oh
one or
no,
two.
they gonna pay for the class.
Absolutely, they're gonna pay for it. That's why she hyped you up, got you all in. You're gonna take that class, and
So
you're
I
gonna be
can sell life
licensed.
insurance.
I think it's great.
Are you gonna have to sign a contract though if they do the class?
I ain't got that for yet. I had to listen to the webinar. The lady's supposed to be calling me this week. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To get to see when I can start and we gonna talk. But see what the greatest thing is, a lot of people don't know, man. They pushing life insurance hard right now. You know what I'm saying? And what it is I'm starting to kind of see some. Ever since I got kind of listened to it, and even in their presentation, like I tried, you know what I'm saying? I should have screen recorded it like we do, but they make your life insurance affordable like a motherfucker. Excuse me, I forgot we online. They making life insurance like they got so many retail products that they're selling life insurance from. Um, and it's amazing because none of the policies are really infinite banking policies. They're just retail policies. But the amount of money you can make off somebody getting these policies, like that's the thing that excites me. Cause like these people with these $30,000-$40,000 policies, them actually the ones that pay the most.
Really?
Yeah. Them,
What about the ones that are like $9.99?
but see, they didn't break it down, but they showed the numbers of what you could make. You know how they do to blow it up, Stacey. You know what I'm saying? To make you seem like you can make all this money.
Yeah.
But they was like, you really only have to sell about $10,000, $30,000, $40,000 life insurance policies a month to be making almost $1,000 a month.
Okay.
But because they didn't like the
Okay.
big life insurances, and they talked about the whole life insurance, but they not like they don't even really talk much about whole life. They're trying to get you to sell terms to people because that's they're not saying it like because I know we don't, they're not saying like sell terms, but the whole training and the whole video is about term life insurance, and they talked about whole life insurance in a very small section.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And so when you
Uh-huh.
decipher it, you really see it. Like when they talked about whole life, it didn't make as much money. They was like, these plans don't make as much money as the small plan. So that interests me because if I can get somebody to sign the small ones for their benefit and for mine, I feel good about trying to help people like that because I know what it'll do. Most people don't have life insurance.
Right. Right. But the term is a lot cheaper too, I think.
Way cheaper.
So
Like they
you
got like that. Like you talking about $9.99.
yeah.
They got it like that where you can pay cheap prices that make it affordable. That's why I say they ramping it up so bad because they're trying to get as
Everybody.
yeah they're trying to get everybody into the buying a policy in whatever capacity, you know what I'm saying, they can pay. And that's how you know
But
Hmm, go ahead.
I guess I was gonna say that they got that one from 50 to 80. I think from 50 to 80 you qualify, and it's $9.99. But I got to think about it. You might be paying $9.99, but the policy may be only worth a couple of $1,000, especially if you're 80 years old. You see what I'm saying? So
That's kind of what I got out of that video. Some stuff like that. Yeah. It ain't cause see really the amount of money like some of them policies pay, like it was one example of somebody paying $24 a month, right? They're gonna give
Right.
you this big lump sum up front, and every time that
Okay.
person pays that policy, you're gonna be making like $10 and $10 to $15 a month. And they might only pull 10. It might be like a $24.99 policy.
Right.
They only gonna take 10, cause you know that's kind of like the residuals, cause they ain't really doing nothing.
So I wonder at what, well, like you said, it depends on, because it depends on how much the policy's worth. Because if they only make it $20 a month, that's like $1,000. Not even $1,000.
Yeah,
That's like $240 a year.
yeah. But see, that's the thing. They got it calculated where you get this lump sum because of the value of whatever they're putting it in. So they're investing the money in something, and they give you a lump sum up front
Oh, okay.
for every new
Okay.
contract. But at the same time, after you get that lump sum, after the certain period, you're making $15 per customer a month, $10 a customer a month. So if you got 1,000 customers paying you another $10 a month on an average, you basically making $10,000 a month. That's how they average
I
it
got
up.
what you're
And so
saying.
if you sell the bigger policies, they don't pay as much. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
they still got
Right.
residuals. You don't get that big lump sum. See, that's the thing about the whole life. They don't give you the biggest. The lump sum ain't the same. So you getting like $200, $250 per customer that sign up for them cheap policies. That's the
They,
lump sum
that's
that
your
is.
commission.
The commission is like 160 something to all the way to the 280 per customer.
Right. But the insurance policy can almost calculate your life expectancy and all that stuff, so they'll win in the end, pretty
Yeah,
much.
but what you
Or
really
break even.
you really look at it like this:
Uh-huh.
all the money they get, we know that it's just pure profit. It's pure
Why would you
profit
say that?
because the life expectancy, that money that you're going to pay, is already financed. So the money that they're going to get from the premium is it's just free money. They just got it just there because they're not like, even if somebody died, somebody else is paying the premium. That money is not really that much
Yeah.
when you look at it. They may, if they got 1,000, if they got 10,000 customers and
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
1,000 of them die, they only got to pay
Mm-hmm.
out 1,000 customers from the 10,000 people, but 10,000 people paid them premiums every month, so the rest of the money free.
Right. Right. That's right.
You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? Yeah, the rest
Yeah.
of the money just free money that they collected, and then if another 1,000 come, it's gonna be another certain. So if they out of them 10,000, they go to 9. If another 1,000 died, the 1,000 still come out of the other 8.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And then if nobody dies, it's just money in the bank.
Yeah.
Cause it's tax-free money that they collecting that they can go do anything with. So they like, just like if you notice the trading people, they ramped up their stuff lately. Trade.
Right.
You know, and shit, that's why I'm like, shit, I'm with this life insurance. Cause I'm like, shoot, you ain't really gotta do nothing.
Yeah. Ain't nothing to keep. There ain't nothing. There's nothing to inventory.
The paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, the money.
That paper, man. That
Everybody
paper.
selling insurance. I got some. Anybody want to buy some?
What kind of insurance you got?
Aflac. Y'all want some?
Hey, I heard Aflac good.
Yeah, I know. Come on. I got you. I got a whole bunch. I got a lot of different plans and stuff we can get you going on, man. Come on.
We gonna work together. Me,
Yeah.
you gonna get the workman comp, and I'm trying to get the life. We gonna start selling the insurance. Cause I ain't playing.
You sell Affleck for real?
No, I'm just messing with you. I ain't got no hat.
Oh, okay. Made me come off mute.
Oh no,
They had
no.
one guy on
I
there,
do have somebody. Martinez's mom does do the Aflac though.
but they had a guy on there. That guy had 20,000 people that he had met over a span of like 8 years, and that man make almost $1 million a month. I ain't know insurance was that lucrative, like just selling insurance.
Yeah, it is
It's all profit.
Huh?
all profit.
I'm talking about for the people selling it. They get
Yeah,
residuals for the rest of, as long as that customer pay for that policy,
every month they
they
get
get
paid.
residuals
Mm-hmm.
every month.
Yes, sir. This stuff ain't for free.
And, hey, and I'm looking at it like, oh, that's a hustle. I don't have to go get up and do this guaranteed area. I just got to put enough work in to get 2 people a week. Cause like they said, with the amount of money you put, it was like, shoot, over a period of time,
But
man, it's
truth be
good.
told, 2 people a week is harder than you think when it comes down to insurance, bro.
I know.
Yeah, it's
I
harder
know.
than you think.
I thought about it. I thought about it when I was talking to her. I was like, oh, this is hard, but it's doable.
Okay. What you say, Shakur? Oh, he didn't say that. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Anybody trade anything this week?
You know what I did. I banged myself up. So.
What you do?
What happened?
Huh?
What you do?
Stacy know about BlackBerry. I was trying to do a trade and messed up and bought it twice or something.
How many shares you buy?
Hey man,
Never
we
mind. Don't even talk about it.
ain't gonna
Is
talk.
this BlackBerry the phone? What you say?
Yeah, it's BlackBerry the phone. But Stacy, it actually made me money though, bro. I ended up that very same day with $224 or something like that off of that.
How did it happen?
But I still have all those shares.
Man, sell.
Yeah.
How did it happen?
Huh?
How did you make the money?
It actually went up after I bought it. After the trade was executed, because I tried to call and cancel like you was telling me to do. Them jokers wasn't having that. They was already gone, bro. But that day it went up. I'm like, shoot, I made money on it. So Monday, I already put in an order to sell it on Monday.
Then what you can do, you can buy back in.
Yep.
But yeah, buy back in on the option put.
Yep. I was like, I only wanted to hold like 100 shares of it, but I was like, shoot, I ain't want all those. But it's a question to answer your question. BlackBerry has this deal, or supposedly having this deal, merger with I want to say it's Google. They got this new system coming out, and they're using the BlackBerry platform to go off of. So
I think it's Tesla. I think it's Tesla.
Yeah, it's got something to do with one of something Google, Tesla, or something.
I think it's Tesla. I heard about that.
Yeah, it's some talk going on.
So Sam, when you say BlackBerry, is it the like who's to make the BlackBerry phone?
Yeah, yeah. The stock ticker is BB. Yeah. It was only like when I got it, I got it like $4 or $5.
How much was it?
$4 or $5.
Last week when I made my money, it was like $6 or something.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah, but when I bought it, it was like $4 something, $4 or $5 something.
I don't think.
Is it too late?
I don't know. I don't know. I put in my order to sell. I don't know what is that now. I can pull it up though. Hang on. I pull it up.
You getting out completely?
Well, not all of them. I'm gonna keep like maybe 100 share of it, but
Oh, okay.
and see what happens on it. But let's see. Other than that, I had bought some. It was something else I bought too. I can't remember off the top of my head. But let me. Where is it? Right here. What was BlackBerry, right? Let's find this joker. Yep. Let's see. Bam. Yeah, it's right at $6. It's at $5.94 right now.
That's
So
good.
hopefully by I know it
Monday
probably
morning.
do a little
That's good.
pullback. It'll probably do a little pullback, but I'm hoping to sell it right at 6. Either way, I can make my money back right now.
But you said you got it for
Like really low. It was right there at 5, like $4.90. I want to say like $4.98, $5, but
mhm.
it's still at $1 profit right now, just about. So. But anybody interested in some news? I got some news for y'all too. Y'all want some?
Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely.
Got some for you. All right. You got earnings reports coming out for a few major companies coming out this week. The first one that's going to come out is going to come out on Tuesday, and that is PepsiCo. Their earnings report come out on Tuesday. I don't know what they're trading at right now. But that's one. Wednesday is Delta. Everybody's waiting to see what Delta's going to do because of the airline strike, the airline, the pilots and all this stuff going on. They're waiting to see what Delta's going to look like. And that comes out on Wednesday. Thursday, you got JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley. And Friday, you have Citibank and Wells Fargo.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, and that other bank, that other stock I bought was SoFi. That's right, the bank, SOFI, SoFi. That was the other one I got last week. More news for today. Miss Tubner, what you got?
I was going to ask you, Sam, what stock, the S, whatever you just told us about that starts with the S, what type of
SoFi.
stock is
SoFi, SOFI.
Right, I was asking, I maybe should ask the question, what type of company is it?
It's a bank.
Oh, it's a bank,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I
So,
think it's a fintech, right? Fintech bank.
I think so. Yeah. Because I actually have a credit card through them. So, I looked them up. They were new. They were cool. So I was like, shoot, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in on them. And the stock wasn't that high anyway. And everybody knows. I think the banks are getting ready to like have a field day shortly here anyway. So interest rates are going to start going up. I think I see a lot of houses up in the Sandy Springs area, Cumming, Milton area. They're popping up for sales like crazy. So,
I discussed SoFi with you guys last month when they were under $5.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, he did. That's right. He did. He sure did. And I picked up some SoFi. Yep.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all. It's interesting that you said that, Sam, because that's why I was looking. Like I was telling you, this company called Voyager. It's a cryptocurrency platform,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a situation where the cryptocurrency platform just went bankrupt, and people lost billions of dollars because the banks actually foreclosed on the business, and they're starting to want to pull their money. But the way that the the way that the company Voyager was actually classifying people as traders. So the money is not protected in the bankruptcy, but the banks have seized all the people's money to say that the company actually owes them money, so that the people's
Yeah,
money is actually their money. Cryptocurrency is really getting a real
beaten.
beating right now.
But it's
The
because of the
banks are
way that
forcing.
they're.
What'd you say?
I think it's just the way that the traders are trying to spin it, make it. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to make it as a stock. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know where
Well,
I'm
remember
trying
what
to
I
put it.
said about this a couple months ago
What'd
Oh
you
yeah,
say, Reggie?
yeah.
about crypto and how it wasn't acting right.
Yeah,
Remember, it's
but
supposed to be
that's because they're treating it like as trading in and trading out of it, this and that. But
and
that's
that's
not
why I
what it was
said,
originally designed for. And that's why Reggie also, that's why it wasn't acting the way you were specifying or describing it. It originally, yeah, it's supposed to have worked like that, but when people don't treat things the way they were designed, they don't not gonna act like that either. So
and they
um
fail.
yeah, and it fails. Well, I wouldn't say it fails, but it fails
No, they are
people
failing.
expectations.
All I'm saying, guys, is that I'd already Negro Damased about this a couple months ago, and now that's number two that's fallen. Okay, that's the second one that's fallen now. More will come. Okay,
Yeah,
again, mark my
yeah.
words. Like I said, guys, put this stuff on a Subway sandwich. I'll eat my words. Okay.
Well, yeah, some
Like
of
I
them
said,
are
it's
gonna
just
fall now.
more are going to
I agree
fall
with you.
until regulation happens. Then once regulation happens, there are going to be a handful standing. I believe that it'll probably be Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe Cardano, something like that. But there's only going to be a handful that are going to be left. All the rest are going to fall.
Yeah, I think Polygon's gonna make it, Stellar Lumens, because of the platform they're trying to set up. There's certain
So,
ones that actually serve purposes in the economy, and it's a
but
good use for them. If it's not a really, really good use for them, they'll get X'd out, I think.
just like with the stock market, they're going to take such a hit.
Yeah.
They are no longer going to be the growth play that they were pre-pandemic. I'm not sure if that's ever going to come back at the strength that it was pre-pandemic, and especially right after the pandemic, when these things shot up, in multiples of 3 to 6x. The other thing on the stock side is you are right about all the earnings that are coming in. The big companies that are putting out these earnings represent different sectors of the economy. PepsiCo is Coke's little cousin. The big bank represents all the banking systems, things of that nature. These are going to be really good measures of the economy itself, in which we talk about deflation signs and inflation and the economy going into a recession, things of that nature. With regards to what I'm doing, I have I've seen the writing on the wall. I'm glad that I'm that term Walton says be greedy when others are fearful. So the thing is that last month I was greedy. I bought some big stocks, things of that nature, but they are barely holding it together. Okay, Amazon, compared to when I bought it, is down maybe 3-4%. They're barely holding. Meta is down about 12% from when I bought it. I bought some big stocks, and I was about to do the same with Google because Google is splitting this month too. I just said, you know what?
Wait.
The cycles are changing big here. These cycles are huge. As a matter of fact, they're so huge. You guys may have not. I'm not. I never assume what somebody knows and doesn't know. But there's a recession, and then also within these companies, there's what's called an earnings recession. And once these people start reporting these earnings that are not where that are not where they should be, you combine that with the recession, you combine that with another rate hike, which looks like that's what's going to happen because the CPI data came back. Employment looks like it's going to be okay. So they're like, well, if we're not going to crash employment, we might as well take out the stock market and throw another 75 points. So I about guarantee we're looking at least 50, if not another 75-point rate hike by the end of this month. That's going to send more things into a spiral. We've had a few little rallies here, but I think that in my gut, and again, you know, I've trusted my gut. And I'll tell you, my gut's rarely wrong, and my gut is based on a whole lot of logical data. You know, I take in all the data that I can, and then I formulate, you know, these decisions going forward. So what I did was I opened up my Discover high interest savings account again, and every bit of money that I was going to throw into the market, I've been putting into that Discover. It's only like 2.5%, but it's a whole lot better than a regular savings account, and it's sitting tight. So so that when the real pain hits, then I can mob up, because that's what it's going to be. I mean, I don't think we're anywhere close to the bottom. And I haven't sold. I'm not pulling things out of the stock market, because that's when you lose. You lose when you pull and things are low. So I'm not going to do that. Okay. But I haven't bought anything else since we last met. And I stuffed a good $5,000 away that should have been put into the market, but all that's just going into my Discover account, because I think things are going to get so bad that, just like with real estate and the stock market, cash will be king. So even though we're losing, 8%, in inflation, it's kind of an 8% tax basically, I'm still going to set it in cash, because I have a feeling that between now and maybe this time next year, we're going to have some crazy, great, stupid opportunities, whether it's in the market or whether it's in real estate, when people are going to be like, these banks are going to have these homes, things of that nature, not tax liens, but foreclosures, stuff like that, where they are going to be taking stuff for pennies on the dollar. I believe that the same thing is going to happen with the stock market, because right now, PE ratios are being reevaluated, even for companies like Tesla. So the multiples are changing, the PE ratios are changing. So instead of, that whole thing, I was like, last month, I was, hey, I'm just going to keep DCAing, dollar cost averaging in. I don't see that happening right now. I haven't dollar cost averaged in since we last talked. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take it, put it in the highest interest savings account I can for now, and just keep it as cash. And then hopefully I'll be able to mob up on somebody. Somebody's going to be very, very distressed. And I'm going to just say business is business. Take this cash or leave it. And hopefully that'll be my come up. And then we'll have a celebration.
Hey. Go ahead, Steve.
So the Discover, this question is for Reggie. The Discovery high interest account, is there a time limit on how long you have to have your money in that account?
Nope. Nope. Not at all. So it's approaching 2.5% now. When I first did it before pre-pandemic, they were pushing like 3.5% before they started dropping interest rates and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a few banks out there that are doing that, and it's just open up a checking account. I think it only takes like a couple $100. Then open up your savings account. No minimum. There's no minimum, because it's been sitting at zero for the last year or so. And I was like, you know what? It's time to bring it back, because, like I said, once they brought the interest rates down. I was like, well, I don't need this Discover. There's no need for it. I left the accounts open, but when the interest went down, I was like, well, I might as well just put the money to work. But now, since they keep raising up those interest rates, so Discover might hike another 0.5% or so by the end of the year. For me, that's better than a bond, because with bonds, you got to lock your money in, and if an opportunity comes, you pay a penalty for withdrawing it.
Yeah.
So at least I got it in a high interest savings account, and I can deploy it whenever I feel like it.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Real
Okay.
good.
All right. Cool. Good news. Oh, did y'all hear about this as far as the news? I'm sorry, Reggie, will you finish?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Hey, did y'all hear about this Roku and Netflix?
Yep.
Anybody? Roku and Netflix. Roku and Netflix. Netflix is thinking about acquiring Roku for a merger, man. And as a matter of fact, our good friend Kathy Woods have bought up a lot of shares of Roku because of this information.
Well,
Well,
the thing with Roku is Roku actually
has Netflix on their platform already.
Well,
some of that stuff.
What it is because I kept up with this one too. Roku actually has more players and devices in the licensing agreements, because Roku is actually what most of these TVs run on. The software in most of these smart TVs comes from Roku. So if Netflix requires Roku, what happens is it gives Netflix ability to lessen the license fees and actually own more televisions. Because Netflix has brung out so much TV now that Netflix is trying to go with like TV shows throughout the week and do.
Oh, you mean movies and stuff?
Well, no,
yeah.
they're trying to get to TV shows. Like they're trying to become instead of just being where people watch movies, they're trying to roll out TV, like this comes on Wednesday night type stuff.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying? Tuesday
like a
night.
network.
They're trying to go more to a network base, and Roku actually has so many devices already in homes. And so I heard about that when I was looking at that about a couple of weeks ago, because basically Netflix is pretty much trying to like corner the market.
I originally thought that was going to be a desperation play, but I don't really think that it is, because right now it's starting to look like a network war. You remember back in the day when the TVs, had the channels and stuff had network wars, because
everybody was trying to wait for a certain time to put certain stuff out to get more viewers. Yeah.
So Warner Brothers is doing the same thing. Warner Brothers and Discovery. So they're doing their thing there. Netflix is trying to do the same thing over here, and now HBO has really brought it with regards to shows, things of that nature, and now Amazon has made a huge come up in the streaming services, and of course they own. It's Amazon again. This is kind of why I mentioned Amazon a while back. Is that not only do they have the streaming service, but they have the backbone that everybody else is using. It's kind of like remember back in the day when AT&T had the phone lines and leased the airtime and stuff out to like T-Mobile and to all these other companies and things like that, because AWS, which is Amazon's backbone, is carrying all these other streaming services. So that's I see three big players again, just like the blockchain. We are going to see some people fall off in these streaming services, and I think that we're going to ultimately boil down to like a big three, maybe big four, something like that. They're going to keep combining, keep coming together. And again, but I truly think that Amazon wins either way, because all these other companies are using AWS as their backbone as their backbone for the platform.
Okay. Well, I do know that, what is it, NFL Sunday Ticket or whatever? The NFL is looking for a streaming service. They haven't decided who they're going to use yet, but whoever get that one is going to be a big boost in the arm to them too.
Well, I was just reading about that same thing. They're basically saying that it's going to be the NFL Network. They're pulling it from AT&T. They actually
they already have.
Yeah, they already pulled it from AT&T.
Yeah.
And it was like the Sunday Ticket is going to be a service now, and nobody's going to own it. So that's the thing with Reggie saying it's network war, but all of it is because nobody is buying regular cable anymore, and everything is going to go to a subscription service, and that's really where the money is made, because you got to realize, like, I was talking to some people the other day that black people already got it's this thing called Zeus. They got all these little platforms that have started to come out that people are paying for. One of them's like $2.99 a month, $5.99.
You get all the channels you want to, all the movies,
all these crazy
everything.
new movies and shows that they got, and yeah, it's just a remake of the same thing.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, it's just a remake of the same thing.
Okay. Well, okay. Here's my last story. It's a company called Clovis Oncology. They are a biotech company. They deal with scientific stuff that deal with tumors and stuff like that. But they are doing there's talk of them doing what they call a reverse split. And also there's talk in the winds of them being bought out by Bristol Myers. So just thought I'd throw that out there. It's currently trading for like $2.96. It's really low, but hey, with all that media, you might be worth it. For $3, yeah, I'll invest $3. $3 a share for that, just to see if it's gonna jump.
Sandwich money.
You know it. Yep. I love eating sandwiches.
Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. I'm be honest with you.
Yeah, but hey, the stock ticker is CLVS, in case you guys want to know. I'll throw it in the chat for you. Other than that, that's all I have for us on news, man. So
everybody weekend being, everybody one of them out there playing in the sun. How you doing, Sequester? How you doing, Reggie?
He's a Sequester. Yeah, she done changed clothes and everything. Boy, I tell you. She need to stop.
She looked like she done checked in her passport. She in another continent.
I'm not, Reggie. You missed early. I'm in Destin.
Oh, okay.
I'm enjoying my wonderful getaway for the weekend.
That's a beautiful thing.
You talking about the trip or no, man? No. Let's see.
What did you say, Sam? I'm
I
pretty
ain't
sure you
said
said something smart.
I ain't said nothing.
I got out for a minute. I didn't really go anywhere special, but I got out, enjoyed the weather till it started storming.
What started swarming? The heat?
No, it's been storming. It's been storming.
Oh, yeah, it's getting ready. It's storming over here now. It is doing that now, brother.
I got out for a minute, but I don't like 4th of July anyway, because I come from the hood, and when you grow up in the hood during the 4th of July, you mistake them all them kabooms. Them kabooms might not be firecrackers. I'm just saying, and in the national news, and it unfortunately it did come to pass. In a few places, there's a few shootings this last weekend.
They say it's a good way to get somebody back, and they won't even know it.
Yep. That's why I stay indoors, bro. 4th of July, and if I'm doing my private New Year's parties and things like that, I'll do that. But I don't like to go out in public 4th of July, bro. That's not. That's just hood trauma.
Yep. So
Yeah, we had a big family thing, man. It was pretty cool, man. So they shot a lot of fireworks in the city, but we ain't.
man. Well, anything else exciting happening? Anything else we can go with?
I'm sorry, I got thrown off a little bit. But yeah. So back to the news at hand and the what's going on. I'm gonna give y'all something to look at.
Go ahead.
What's
What
going
you
to
got?
happen when all these laws that's being changed now? How are they going to affect all the stuff we talking about? The recession, the financial markets, the stock market, because there's a lot of laws being changed. And how is this going to affect the new world? Because it's not being changed for whatever they're doing now. It's being changed to affect what's going to happen later. So the speculation is what is next year or what is the next coming months going to look like, because everybody keeps talking about recession, everybody keeps talking about how bad things are. But what I'm seeing is it is not the bad things, it's just the way they're driving the country. Because to be honest with you don't hear nothing else about Russia. You know what I mean? COVID is running rampant and ain't nobody really talking about that. All the things that they're being talked about are new laws, and we got to wonder to ourselves, how is that going to affect the whole financial structure? Because people are losing their 401k right now.
All right, I'm gonna say something that you will never ever hear me say under normal circumstances. But here it goes, and let me put on my red hat and say that's what the mainstream media are saying. But the thing is those of us that are in the know are looking everywhere, not just listening to the mainstream. They're seeing, like I said, they're looking at the signs. They know what's coming down the pike from the Fed. They know what's coming down the pike with these earnings reports. And because you can see all these things and you know a little bit of history about the markets, you know that this is this is kind of that coming time. And almost all the big money families, all the big millionaires, things like that were all made during these big recessions. Just like we had some of these little micro millionaires that were made right off the pandemic with Bitcoin and stuff like that. So that's why I'm sitting here just trying to load up my springboard, take them, store my cash, and sit tight and keep my eyes and ears open, looking around for these opportunities because they're coming. And but yeah, that's the only time you're ever gonna hear me say something like that, mainstream media. But I hate to say it, them fools got a point.
They really do.
Media is trying to tell us one thing, but there's a whole lot going on behind the scenes.
So what do you think they're trying to tell us, Reggie?
I think that they're diverting. I mean, and of course, why wouldn't Biden divert? Because this situation is so bad, it threatens anybody's political career. Heck, gas alone is going to threaten, half these folks' political careers. So even though that's my team, sometimes you got to call your own teammates out. And it is what it is, man.
So I'm gonna ask the group something that I want to know to see what everybody got to really say. And this has been a topic of discussion for a lot of people around America. Do people in this group believe that Biden really has the power to change gasoline prices?
Why would anybody educated say that?
I'm just wondering. Do anybody in this group believe that the gas price could actually be cheaper if Trump was in there?
No, I don't think so.
So
I'm going to say no.
okay, so because I hear everybody. So is it safe to say that this whole thing is created because it don't matter who was in there, they was gonna have to do everybody in agreement that they was gonna have to make the numbers, they was gonna have to create a recession in order to level out the economy?
In order to get the money back out of the system. Yeah.
Yeah, but if I was far right, I'd be exploiting the heck out of this situation, bro. Why not?
What you mean?
You a dirty politician,
far right,
man.
I'd be exploiting it. I'd be exploiting the heck out of it. Heck yeah, it's all
Hey, you're a dirty politician.
Tree hugging Dan's fault.
He ain't even in office. Don't put Reggie in office.
I'm just telling the truth, man. I always keep it 100. I keep it 1,000, bro. I'd be exploiting the heck out of it. And that's what they're doing.
That's true. That is definitely true. I mean, I'm just trying to get an understanding why we sit here talking about it.
Yeah. But you got to think about it. The uneducated, man. I mean, they even got the stickers on the pumps. And you go to fill up gas. It's like, thanks, Biden. Basically blaming him for the gas prices. So if you say, look, it was this price when Trump was in office, and now it's this price when Biden's in office, it's really easy to say, let's blame him. Mm-hmm. But he really can't control it. He can't control that, man. The market's being manipulated.
Yep. The sad thing is that gas has been coming down. Oil's been coming down. And gas ain't come down but what, 13 cents, something like that?
But do y'all see how they try to spin it?
Milk it?
Do y'all see how they try to spin it to the mainstream, talking about Biden sold 2 million barrels to other countries?
Yep.
Oh man, they even had a stat out comparing pre-pandemic gas barrels of oil production and price. We're at the same level they are now, but they are $2 or $1 cheaper. Same output, same amount of barrels, price per barrel, and the price is still higher at the pump.
So why do y'all think that this price is high? Like, besides knowing it's manipulation, why do y'all think that the gas company can actually do this? Raise the price of the gas for no apparent reason.
Well, it's hard to say what it is without it being manipulated, because that's exactly what it is. And you got to think the oil companies took a big loss during the pandemic. For 2 years, man, they wasn't making any money because nobody was driving. So they did the supply and demand situation.
This is their big get back. Plus, they're mad at Biden. And again, oh my goodness, man, boy, do I sound Republican today. But the truth
you're Republican.
Is we did kind of paint ourselves into a corner when we put the kibosh on the pipeline. We painted ourselves into a corner with a number of things here, and those were definitely, the the left, the mainstream left. But it is what it is, man. They got painted into a corner, and businesses just can't move fast enough. And again, if I was an oil business, why put all that money into trying to increase production when the second that happens, they already know that they are on a losing team, because electric or hydrogen, something like that, within the next 10, 15 years, we've already mandated it that the car companies are going to have to go to it. So why put all that money in the infrastructure? They're just going to make cash. They're gangstering up right now, taking advantage of the situation. making as much money as they can while they still can, because they know that their gig is going to be up in the next decade or so. They know that.
Well, with me, I'm like, okay, if it were me, the way I was thinking, I own my own business. You ain't gonna tell me what price to set on my own stuff. Are you crazy? You can't tell me to do, man, I'm gonna charge you what I want. Take it or leave it. What you gonna do? What are you really going to do? Huh?
Yeah, but you do own a business, and technically, do you really set your own prices, man?
Technically, I do, or else I'll walk away from them.
That's what I mean.
You don't want my services, but
yes,
that's just the same way the oil companies are doing. We don't own any oil companies, so they're saying, "Hey, well, we'll give you this price this month. Next month, we might lift. There ain't nothing the doggone president can do about it."
But
the
that's
president don't run the oil company.
That's true, but that's the beauty of OPEC. The thing is that you don't have a big windows and doors coalition that controls every person out there. So the market itself does dictate your price a little bit, unlike OPEC, because OPEC can throw whatever price they want on things because they got control over it all. But you, on the other hand, just like me in my business, I can't charge exactly everything that I want, because there's plenty of other competition. So I could charge this price, but that don't necessarily mean that the customer is going to pay for it. But OPEC has got the oil and natural gas, all that stuff on lock, and because they got it on lock, they can charge what the heck they want.
Right.
I got mine on lock.
That is different.
I got mine on lock, man.
I hear you, man.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Gangster. No, that's fine. That's gangster. Take that dookie rope out your neck. Gangster. ATL windows and doors got it on gangster lock.
Crazy.
I am the market.
You know what?
So what's the opinions of the ladies?
As far as the gas prices, or just just what's going on in the economy? I really agree with Sam's comment. I was saying, yeah, I'm for sure he sets his own prices.
I am too. I agree with him too. I just, I just really think that we're going to be heading into a recession. I wouldn't say if Biden or Trump, either or. I still think this was coming. I remember we talked about, the cycle repeats itself, so it's going to repeat. So, but I do see a recession coming soon.
Sure.
I think we're already in it.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I did see some cheaper gas prices down here in Florida. I was a little shocked, but once you come down to the Panhandle, when you're crossing Alabama, then coming into Florida, well, leaving Georgia, Alabama, and then Florida, I did see some changes in gas prices. I didn't have to, after filling up in Atlanta, I didn't have to fill. Well, I haven't filled back up yet, but I didn't get gas. I'll get gas in Florida, but their prices are a little higher.
Yeah, but barrels of oil have been down for the last week or so.
Oh yeah,
they've been under 100. So the thing is, they can only keep them prices jacked up for so long. But I guarantee when they do come back down, even when the price of oil does come back down, it might take a year or so to get it way back down. I guarantee we will no longer be looking at $2.75 a gallon. Now the new normal will be, we got a deal at $3.15 a gallon. You see I'm getting that?
You think it's gonna go that low?
I don't think so.
No, not anytime soon. But what I'm talking about is once everything levels back off, there will be a new normal, and that new normal will be higher than the new normal was.
I don't think they're gonna go past 350, just because of the simple fact that the housing market is still able to get high everything else is charging high rates. I think that they're going to keep.
You're right, but I'm not talking months. I'm talking years. I'm talking a couple of years out.
That's what I'm thinking, and that's what I'm saying, Reggie. Like, I don't think this ever gonna, because think about this. 10 years ago, gas was $1.79, $2.
I remember complaining when it went over 2. Yes, sir.
So we 10 years away, and we're seeing $5 now when it was $2 10 years ago. So in 10 more years, it's going to at least double from what we see now, because it's already doubling from what you saw 10 years ago.
There's a couple market players in there that might change that. I understand your logic completely, but like I said, once electric becomes the norm, or electric or hydrogen, then that might change it. Gas might become a more boutique item.
So this is what I say to you on this. That's why because when you said they're about to be extinct, that's the thing. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. As a boutique item, it might drive the prices up, or as a boutique item, because there's little demand for it, it may keep coming down. It's those I can't make that type of a prediction. Well, I don't have enough information.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you this. There's over 20,000 gasoline cars. 20 million gasoline cars in America alone.
Yeah.
And in order for
that's at least 30 years worth of more gas. I mean, these cars that are being made today that are gas, people will. I mean, look at Cuba. Cuba's got cars in the 50s. They got them still. Yeah. So if some crazy stuff happens with the economy, things of that nature, yeah, you are right. In that, yeah, these gas prices and things of that nature, they're not going. Like I said, anytime soon. No, that's not going to happen. But as alternative fuels take over, supply and demand alone will start driving down the price until it becomes a boutique item. Once it becomes a boutique item, then just like a classic car, these old Hondas, that were in the old Fast and Furious movies, those Hondas weren't worth squat until the movies came out and they became over 25 years old. Now I dare you to find a 95 Acura NSX for less than 80, 90K. But back in the day, back when I was looking for them, man, you could find them things for 12K. But now that it's become a boutique item because there's less of them that are out there, the market dictates some changes in things. So I understand where you're coming from completely, Franco. I understand completely. Now, I'm not going to make a judgment. I'm not going to make a Negrodamus judgment on that. Because, too much up in the air.
What kind of judgment did you call that? You said you're not going to make what type of judgment?
That one right there is inevitable, because of the simple fact that you got 3 more years of cars that are going to be guaranteed to be made gas into 2025.
Yep.
So the price of the gas is still going to be around for at least another 40 years.
Yeah, like I said 30. I don't know about 40. We'll see. It depends on how good these cars are made and how desperate people want to keep maintaining these gas vehicles. That's what it's going to depend on.
I'll be one of them. I'm keeping my gas.
Yeah, I love gas car. Like I said, I'm classic. I love me some Tesla, but I ain't going to buy one anytime soon.
Oh, yeah. And all of that planning and I like gas. Maybe planning to keep stopping because my coworker had one. She said never again will she take it. She has a Tesla. Take it out of town.
Yeah, there's no place to charge it. The infrastructure of it, like it's stalled out. It started out strong, but then it stalled out. I mean, I don't know what happened to it. It's like hard to find charging stations.
That's why I said beginning of the year, the big investment should be charging stations, not necessarily the companies themselves, because the charging stations still got crazy room to grow.
And that's a good one right there, Reggie. I am totally agree with you. In order to get to the end, the charging stations are going to be the major players in the next couple of years. Charging stations are going to be really important because as these cars roll out, they got to have somewhere to go. They got to have somewhere to go to charge. Just bringing up this conversation, it proves that they got to have somewhere to go, and people got to be able to travel from like Sequester said, trying to find a way to charge your Tesla or charge your EV. That's got to be eliminated for gas. That's why, like, even when I say about the gas, that's why gas won't never go below. I don't think it's going to stop at three. I don't think they're going to go below 350 on this because of the simple fact that they know that the EV infrastructure is not there. Because they're actually probably the one keeping it away, and then the same gas companies are actually probably the ones that own the EV charging station because they
or the chip companies.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they probably own the chip companies too to make the chip.
When you look at all these companies that have evolved, you always see the big player investing in the new next technology, but it may not be in their name. I mean, even when you look at Tesla, it was part GM when it first came. You see what I mean? And GM is still an owner in Tesla. You see what I mean? And so when you got to understand that the big names are always buying in to the new next generation companies. So I wouldn't be surprised if the same oil companies own half of the actual or controlling interest in the actual charging companies because it keeps them in business. It keeps it keeps them prepared for the future. So as the transition does happen, they're still in the fuel game. They're still like the gas stations that they own. They're still going to be able to own those gas stations. It's just going to be electric gas station and gas station, but they're still going to be getting their profit from the same ways. I don't see big oil just being able to be wiped out.
Oh no. There are other things that they use oil for anyway. So no.
Oh yeah, oil is always going to be here, bro. Tires, heat. So oil is going to be here for a long time. And then you got to think about all the big companies, I ain't gonna say the founding fathers, but the companies that were here from the 1800s, the Rockefellers, the Morgans, man, they all tied into that. Yeah, man. Big oil, baby.
And there's gonna be big energy. I mean, who else got the money to develop the technology? The same people that's selling the other technology. Like when you really realize that all the same companies, like you said, the big people, the big three, all those companies are still the same companies. They just ran under different names. They still exist. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all those companies, all those founding fathers companies still exist. It may not be the face, but why you think the Rockefeller Trust and why you think when you go and look at the Rothschilds, they're still getting money from somewhere, from some company. It's not like, oh, these people just died off and yeah, they had the money at one time. No, these people still make billions a year, if not trillions.
Yeah, they're still making it, man. And they're not going to cut that off. Not when they don't have to. And you got to think about it. If you had the reins, what would you do?
I put my foot on their neck.
You know it. That's what they're going to do.
What Reggie was saying. Man, forget that. Reggie say, get the money. And the dollar bills, y'all.
Hey, man, you put your foot on their neck and let them up the breeze just so they don't die.
Dang, that's messed up.
Why? That's what we living in. They gave everybody all that money.
But, Franco, your mama raised you better than that.
She did. She also realized, shoot, yeah, he was special child. He was
special. Man.
He rode the little yellow bus a little bit.
We're gonna have to change our name here to Gangsta Squad.
Hey man, I feel like if you give me all that money and control and power, I mean, you're gonna do the same thing. Anybody is, no matter who is doing it, they're gonna be like, shoot. Somebody tell you making $1 billion a day and you can do anything you want on your life, man, you're gonna be like, keep doing it. So I can keep making this $1 billion a day.
Yeah, that's it. American greed. It's never stopped.
I mean, because then you make $1 billion a day. It's some people around you. You stop making this money, we gonna take you out. You know.
That's it. That's it right there. You're going to affect generations if you make the wrong move. Your move is going to affect my downline.
Yeah. And they gonna
That's
tell
going to be
you.
a problem.
They gonna tell you if you don't keep going, we gonna end you.
Yep.
It ain't a lot of times. It's not greed. It's just a simple fact that it's just like cancer. Susan B. Coleman ain't cured nobody, but she make a whole lot of money.
Speaking of power lines,
not one thing.
I am thinking that keep an eye out for the next. I'm not saying that this is going to be the next play, but just like we were talking about earlier about these charging stations and stuff like that, the power demands for these charging stations are ridiculous. And we already have infrastructure problems in places like Texas, things like that. These places are getting brownouts either from the heat or from the cold. So we are going to definitely have to up our infrastructure if we have all these charging stations all over the place as far as electric. So, companies like GE, these companies that are doing like hydroelectric, things of that nature, they're going to have to retool to be able to supply the power needs for this new mobile company. I believe that these guys might be the next oil because they're going to have to supply all these charging stations, all these vehicles, things like that. So I'm keeping a corner of my eye out open to see what opportunities might be out that way. The thing is, I don't know that industry that well.
Man, go ahead and get that Southern Company right now.
Well,
them and Duke Power. Them and Duke Power, I'm telling you.
I'm gonna throw a caveat in here. It might not be as big of a problem, maybe, Reggie, because of the simple fact that the government is, and this is why I say you got to watch the play. The government is already paying people to put solar panels on their house to get them off the power grid.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, but the thing is how many people actually have houses?
But that
majority of people that live in any type of inner city or within any city's perimeter are not living in houses.
But
multi-family dwellings, big apartments.
Even the apartment complexes and big commercial is moving to solar.
Yeah, but there's just not enough surface area. Just not enough.
That's also, again, I get you. That's why solar is making a big. I keep up with solar power, and that's why solar is making a big push right now to come up with new technologies that actually fit that description. They have thinner panels, and the panels actually, the newer panels are they're innovating fast, where the newer panels are actually producing more power.
I understand that.
They actually have panels that they actually have new panels where it used to take 8 to 10 panels to put on a house. Now you can do the same thing with 3 or 4. And so the old solar side is really kind of dull because they actually have it where they actually had this company that came out with glass for skyscrapers that would actually be able to be solar panels to be able to produce power as well.
That's what I was getting ready to tell you. I have actually already seen that. I saw that 3 years ago.
Yep.
At a company went over in Minnesota. Anderson. Yeah. They had a piece of glass that makes power. Yeah. And all the windows in the house.
Solar City with Tesla. Ever since Solar City with Tesla, I've been tracking it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I do know about. But the problem is cost to get into that party is still way too great. Now, thanks to innovation, if you want to talk like Kathy Wood, innovation runs at an exponential rate. So yeah, maybe 3-4 years from now, we may be able to have that conversation. But I can't take the money that's sitting in my Discover account right now and put it toward anything that's still gray area. It's not black and white yet. It's still gray.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And I don't talk about nothing I can't stand on.
I hear that.
But yeah, but that's why I say at the same time, Reggie, that whole infrastructure problem, I think they're already attacking it.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping a corner eye on it. That's why I'm keeping an eye on it.
I think that they already attacking the infrastructure because they know that that electrical grid is going to have to be used most for charging stations, and they're trying to get as many people off of it as they possibly can by putting basically your own power at your own house versus them having to produce power to send to your house. Because all these solar panels on these houses, most people are selling power back into the grid. That's how they're actually making money by selling power back into the grid. So when you look at the push for solar and then you got houses providing power into the grid, it may fix the infrastructure part.
Yeah, but do you understand how terrible that prediction is, especially for people like us, people of color, people in the inner city, people of that nature? Think about what that's going to do to the wealth gap. So now you're giving people that own property, that have houses, an even bigger edge.
Well, that's what they want.
And we live in the United States. They don't care about no edge.
They don't care about the
No, I know what you're getting at. I know what you're getting at completely. Like I said, I took my gangster hat off just for a second. Okay. Okay. I took my gangster hat back off. Okay, because we do have some, non-gangsters in the building. So, I gotta put my liberal hat on for a second and talk about but the thing is like I said, my goal is to be on the other side of that gap. If I'm on the other side of that gap, at least half the time, unless I go visit, my family in Virginia, I ain't got to worry about Woo, boy, oh boy. I need to take this red hat off, man. I need to take this red hat off.
Yeah, I like when you got the red hat on, though.
I don't know, man. It's a little gangster. I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted. My melanin content and my and that red hat conflict a little bit here and there.
I mean, well, you got to understand that the wealth gap is going to continue to grow because of the fact that that's how it's designed. It's systematically designed.
Yeah, and we are here to share the rules so that we wind up ultimately on the right side of it. That's the reason that we're here every Sunday. Am I correct?
Correct.
That's about as gangster as you can be.
Yeah, that's it. And so that's why I say in the conclusion is that's why I've been looking at it and I'm like, these people are very smart. They do things in phases. And to everybody else, it seems that it is just something that they're doing. But in 5 years, every homeowner is going to be making money by selling money back into the electrical system to provide for the EV world. When you look at having to have all that power drawn in somewhere, they had to make it somewhere, and they couldn't really get building permits to build all these power stations. So it had to come from somewhere. And it's a really smart play. Like, hey, we're going to put it on the houses and have the houses sell the power back in, and we're going to use the power to function we're going to tax. Like, you got to think about it from the big picture. We're going to tax you on power that you sell to us. We're going to tax you. We're going to add more taxes by you doing this because you got a tax break to put it in. That was basically you paying for what we're doing. Then we're going to turn around and tax you, and you're going to wind up paying more because your housing tax is going to go up, your housing expenses are going to go up. But if you own a house, you still make money. It's the same principle that America been operating off of probably for the last 500 years. The homeowners have always benefited in America. Always. From the beginning of time. People that had money enough to own, they've always benefited from whatever America decided to do. From their house, whatever America's had to do, they always had something for the homeowners to benefit.
You speak the truth, but 40 years ago, that was a bad truth. If you were melanin enhanced like us,
true. That's again, that's true. that's why now it's important to kind of remember what it was and also remember where it's going and see where it's going. Not remember where it's going, see where it's going, because America ain't changing. No matter how bad everybody ride, how much they show out, these people they gonna stick with their guns. They've been doing it for the last 400 years.
Yeah.
You know.
What? Stop real quick. You might want to take a look at a Smith and Wesson. They normally average between $13 to $15. So solid company from the 1900s.
The scare is back, just like when Biden was about to come into office and everybody thought the guns are going to go. People are getting afraid of legislation again. So yeah, gun stocks, ammo stocks, all that stuff is should be starting to climb again.
What's the ticker?
It's like prices.
It's I think it's SWBI for Smith and Wesson. I think it's SWBI.
Yeah, and y'all may want, because I got, of course, y'all know I own Southern Company. I got stocks in that, but it's at 71 now, 71.19. And that joker, usually by now, it starts to sort of, start to go down a little bit. That joker's still up to 71. I don't think it's coming back down anymore. So it ain't been down and I don't know how long. So if you're looking at a power company, that's probably one of the cheapest ones out there that's been around for a minute.
Yeah. And even though the market is down right now, if you got to buy, definitely buy good companies if you can.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can buy some good companies, it'll benefit you. So, my 2 cents.
Yes, sir.
My 2 cents.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that's a good thing, man. It's getting close to the top of the hour. I gotta take care of some stuff. What are y'all buying this week?
I may look at Apple, and not as far as putting some options on Apple, putting some options on Amazon.
Well,
I like those.
That Apple up to 147. That's all right. I'll wait for the dip again.
Yeah, but that's what I'm looking at. But not actually buying it, but just putting some options on it, So
yeah.
So just kind of looking at it like that.
Yeah, I might try to put some options on doggone Southern Company then. Shoot, man, well.
Right.
Y'all too rich for my blood. I'm buying more Discover savings account.
Okay. I hear that. Hey, that's all right. That's a play though.
Yeah. It's a play. It's an interest play. What do y'all think about the term? During a recession, they said when it's a recession, we should be looking to expand versus to contract. Do y'all believe that?
I do.
Well, the definition of a recession is the contraction of the economy, though. That's literally the definition of the recession.
Yeah, right. Well, you yourself want to expand.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, after the contraction, that's the whole idea. This spring is compressing, and it's compressing and compressing. That's why I'm stacking up some chips. And I'm not here to try and, time the market or anything, but sometime, and I can't predict it. If I could predict it, I'd be the richest man on the planet, knowing when that spring is going to decompress and push everything, to the moon. But it's going to happen. Like I said, this is where all the millionaires, this is where all that big money, this is where all that generational wealth is generated in times like this. So just time to stay on your P's and Q's, man.
Yeah, I agree. Well, all right. Well, I'll see y'all next week. It's a done deal for me.
Bye, you all.
Bye.
Stay
See you later.
on the road.
Y'all have a good week.
All right. See you.
All right.
See y'all.
Bye, everybody.